Hey. Wake up. Come on. We're gonna mess out here already, and I just started working out here again since I cleaned up. So I'm gonna clean things up, but I am running to Harbor Freight because I got a good bit of money for Christmas, and I feel that it is time to upgrade one of my pieces of equipment. So I'm going to Harbor Freight to get me something new. And well, we're gonna take the Kia today. We need a little more room to haul this one.
She can't tell me no, she ain't here.
There's bad park jobs, and then there's this guy. Like, the line is there, he's over the separating lines, and halfway back to where you drive in at. Good job, buddy!
Oh, thank you for this day, sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, my lord, that was quite expensive. Ooh. I'm gonna need help unloading it. This thing is freaking heavy. I hope Ashley can help me. So I assembled this in the back of the Kia so that I could wheel it in, because it made it a lot easier. So, without further ado, let me show you what I got. Oh, I'm so glad I remembered to get air compressor oil. This is low, and it doesn't come with it. It says it's sold separately. This thing does have an hour meter on it, and it tells you when to drain your tank, when to check your belts and all that. That's pretty cool. This isn't a dual stage. This is a single stage, but it's a 29 gallon. This is going to be sufficient for me. I do have a little bit of air compressor oil, which I think is about all I need. This came with that, so I have a little bit extra. I'm going to use this to fill this up to the line, and then we got to do a break-in procedure where you open the bottom valve and let this run for 10 minutes, and then you got to re-torque everything. Currently doing the break-in procedure. This air compressor is way quieter than that thing was right there. But I sold this. This is leaving here in about 20 minutes. And that's taking its place. I like it. It's way quieter. I'm surprised. Alright, that's about 10 minutes now. Timer shows 0.1. I am highly surprised. This thing is not hot. Look, after 10 minutes of running, I mean, the pipe, even the pipe going in, is cool to the touch. This fan does a very good job of cooling this thing for running 10 minutes straight. So I did get air dryer for oil and water removal. This thing was like $60. But they did tell me there, if any of this stuff, because this wasn't on sale, if any of this stuff goes on sale within the next 30 days, I can go in and get a credit for the amount. So I'm going to keep a hold of my receipt, and I'm going to mount this thing to the wall. Yeah, we're going to get this thing all plumbed up. You know what this means? I should be able to paint in here. Not that I'm going to, but I should be able to if I want to. I also got, I left it sitting over here, another air filter that goes right on the gun, water, oil separator. So we're doubled up if I'm going to paint. Just sold the air compressor, the little one. I put this one back here. After running for 10 minutes, I retorqued all the head bolts up here to, it's like 19 to 20 foot-pounds. It's like 22 to 27 newton meters. Converted over. It's like, actually, it's like 18 to 20 foot-pounds. So I torqued them to 19. Only one of them was just a tad bit loose, not that much. Now I'm letting it build pressure. I'm telling you, man, this thing is quiet. Surprisingly quiet. Alright, so I'll just have to keep my eye on it after I trip the breaker. Over there, it started back up and ran fine until it was filled up. So we'll have to see. I'm probably going to have to put a little bit of a bigger breaker in there or something because of this. But this is all the bigger I really want to go. I don't need a 60-gallon. It's not like I'm some big established shop. This is perfect for what I do.
Do you like your new teddy bear? Huh? You playing with your new teddy bear? Give me it. You want your new teddy bear?
He loves little teddy bears. Alright, so what I'm going to do is get the power washer out because it's actually warm 2 days after Christmas. It's like really warm out. So I'm going to get the power washer out and see how much of this clear coat I can blow off of this hood. I might spray some solvent on it. Maybe it'll help lift it. And then I'm also going to get this thing up to operating temperature. I took the cover off the fuel rail and stuff. And I'm going to spray this thing down with engine degreaser and spray it off with the power washer. I also put more water in the system. I didn't know how low it was. It actually wasn't too low. That's the cap for your radiator. It took a little bit, and then I just topped the bottle off. I just put straight water in it because we're going to lose it again when I go to change that connector back here in the back of the engine, which is that one right there. But I think I'll go ahead and start this up, let it run, and then we're going to take this out and power wash this while this is warming up. Still running good, purring. The coolant leak that I suspected back there where that T-fitting is, it's plastic. The one I got's aluminum. I am fairly certain that is the leak because when I pulled it out, right there's about where that spot would be. And right there is antifreeze. Another thing that tipped me off is when I went to Rock Auto and I went to the cooling system and looked for that item. It was very easy to find, like it's a common issue. So I just went ahead and ordered it. I knew the one on this was plastic. I knew there was antifreeze underneath that. So the one I ordered was aluminum, so we shouldn't have this issue again. I'm also going to put regular hose clamps on it because it has those spring clamps, and they're good from the factory, but they just, once they lose their spring, they're done. All right. So it's nice to work on a clean engine. I have the valve cover gasket, so that's why I wanted to clean. I wanted to get all the oil off that was around it. Now I can tell you that fitting definitely is leaking. I looked at it. So you can see down in there where that T-fitting is, it's plastic, and you see how it's wet. I wiped it off several times, and it just keeps coming back wet. So I think it's either cracked or one of those hose clamps just isn't doing the job anymore. So, yeah, we're going to have to replace all those. But this thing sounds, like, really healthy. Sounds good, especially with oil in it. The fuel rail and the intake and the front of the engine looks flawless now. Well, I didn't really get back in there. Right there, I probably could have did a little better. But across here, in the front of the engine, the fuel rail and the intake, everything looks like spotless now, which is nice. When I have the valve cover off, we'll clean it thoroughly too. It's decent right now, but we want to make it look better. Coolant leak, I'm going to wait until I can get that on the lift. I'm probably going to drain all the coolant out of the system and put fresh coolant in it. And also, while I'm putting new clamps on those hoses down there and stuff, I'm probably going to cut that clamp off on the power steering reservoir right there and put a new one on it, because it was a little oily around there, and that's just one of those squeeze clamps. I can squeeze it, maybe make it tighter, but I think I would just put a hose clamp on there just to be safe. So as you can see, I got almost all the clear off. I got a little bit here. This was sticking a lot better on this, so I could not get any more off of this. But the color is this thing's going to need to be taken out and sanded and painted. As you can see, the clear didn't come off where the stickers were. So I'm going to have to sand that down. So over here, some of it did. You know, a lot of it did, actually. That's adhesive right there. But for the most part, almost all of it came off. So I got almost the whole way around here, and I didn't go so much over here since I'm going to have to sand this all down anyways to do body work. So I didn't really get too carried away on this side. I just kind of, you know, I blew off the clear back to here. That rhymed. Because we're going to have to bring this out and everything, and then we can fit this panel up here, see how it fits and stuff like that. But now we got a clean engine bay, and valve cover gaskets are very simple, as you've seen me do, just like on that. So we're going to go ahead and slap a new valve cover gasket in this thing. Now, like I said earlier, the only problem I had, the bolts were a little rusty. One in the back was so rusty that the 8 just spun on it, so I had to hammer a 7 onto the bolt, and then it came right out. Look how clean this freaking engine is. Somebody took care of this thing. It's well maintained. I mean, check that out. There's no sludge, no nothing. This is what you want to see when you open up an engine. This thing looks wonderful. There's no like extra slop in the chain. I checked that. Everything looks good. So this is going to be a good engine for somebody. It's going to last for a while. These things are, I mean, look at the freaking valve springs on these things. Like, that Ford truck I did had smaller valve springs than that. I swear. I'm telling you. The rocker arms are heavy duty. It's very well made from what I can see. So I'm going to clean all this up. I need to clean this up. The valve cover gasket wasn't horrible. Maybe could have got away. As you can see, it's still pliable. And I probably could have got away with maybe tightening it down a little bit. But I need to check this cover over. Make sure there's no cracks or anything in it. And then I need to pry the spark plug gaskets out too. So I'm going to get on that. So there you have it. It was pretty simple. I mean, this is like working on a motorcycle engine. So, yeah, the coils are all labeled. It shows you 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. It's all straightforward and pretty simple. I also topped off the brake fluid. I am going to be draining the antifreeze, so the water that I put in there will be drained out for coolant. And there's not a lot of room here to work. The belt's not squeaking now, but I did get a new belt. And I really have no reason. Boy, I really should have cleaned underneath that mount there. Look how cruddy it is inside of there. But, let me see what the belt looks like from here. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an old belt. Man, that's hard. That's going to be fun to do. I can tell you that right now. We're going to have to go in through the wheel well.
Fun! Fun, fun, fun!
But that'll be for another day. Also, that coolant leak. As you can see, there's a puddle of coolant down on that transmission mount. So, yeah, we're definitely going to change that out. And also put a new clamp right there on the bottom of the power steering fluid reservoir. But that's going to be the end of this episode! I honestly don't know what I'm doing on the next episode, so you guys are just going to have to stay tuned to see what I'm doing on the next one. But if you haven't, kids, smash that like button, consider subscribing, share me with all your friends, leave me a comment, let me know how you're doing, and we'll see you on the next episode on Wreck.